Hello fellow readers and welcome to another video. Today I'm having no makeup because it's too hot for that. I'm wearing my cozy dress, which you probably seen before. I have an awful hair, but who cares, it's too hot. So it's time for my May TBR versus wrap-up video. Also, I don't have polish on this finger. Just noticed it. So I didn't want to be too hard on myself last month. So I put 3 books on my TBR. And I was so close to completing my TBR list. I don't have these books. They will be here. First one, I thought it was book of the month for Goodreads group which I'm part of, and I thought that book of the month is Trigger Warning by Neil Gaiman. It was actually Norse mythology. I started reading Norse mythology too, but oh well. The second one was for my book club. It is called No Spoilers Book Club, and the book was from a Spanish author Rodrigo Muñoz Avilla. It was Psihiatri, Psiholozi, Drugi bolesnici, which can be translated to English as psychiatrists, psychologists, and other sick people, and it is not translated to English as I know. And the third one was the choice of the Instagram, and people on Instagram could choose between 13 Reasons Why and Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. Oops. And people have chosen this one, 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher. I have actually read 6 books. I was this close to complete my whole TBR, but I still read more than I planned. I need to consult my Franz Kafka notebook, which has damages of unknown origin. So the first book that I read was Siege and Storm by Lee Bardugo. In my last TBR versus wrap-up video, I said that I would like to finish this one and Gemina, but that I think it's time to stop putting them on my TBR and then not reading them. This one was dynamic from the start. It was so dynamic that in the last third it was kind of boring because they were sitting and plotting battle plans, and it wasn't really boring topic, but it was boring after all these dynamics. I can't really talk much about it because it's the second part of a series, so I don't want to spoil you, but I have rated this 4 stars. The second book that I read is Psihiatri, Psiholozi i Drugi bolesnici, which I mentioned. It was awful. It was really boring. The premise was so badly executed. I thought that it was going to be about a man with mental disorders in different life situations, and then some boring things happened, so I was reading and reading and reading, and then I skimmed last 35 pages just to finish it before the book club, and I didn't have time to go to the book club meeting, so I basically wasted my time. I can't remember the choice for the next month, or this month, June, but I'm not going to participate because I know that when I read the book of choice, I wasn't really satisfied with it. So I don't want to waste my precious time. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I rated this book with 2 stars. The third one that I read is actually a graphic novel, and it is Wicked and the Divine. This is volume 1. It's beautiful, and the premise is amazing. I've rated it 5 stars because the premise is that 12 gods are coming to Earth on every 90 years. They get into bodies of teenagers, and those teenagers are then pop stars for 2 years, and then their lives are over. It's amazingly executed. I can't wait to see what's going on in next volumes. Fourth book that I've read is this teeny tiny book, and it is We Should All Be Feminists by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. This should be in schools. I rated it 5 stars. This is Chimimanda's TED Talk, which is published in form of an essay. It is amazing. It shows us why we need feminism, and it shows us on some practical examples from everyday life. There was not a single publishing house in Serbia that wanted to translate this. This girl called Milica, who has an internet portal that is called Milica Magazine, decided to publish it. And she has no previous experience with publishing, so this is amazing. Until now, we saw that I read one book from my TBR, and that was a VS book, which I didn't like. I read 2 books from my TBR, and the second one is Trigger Warning. It's a short story collection by Neil Gaiman. I gave it 4 stars. I liked the most of the stories. I think I really didn't like only one, and I realized that I prefer shorter, like 3 or 4 pages stories than like 60 pages stories, because it is fascinating to me that someone can write such a whole story, detailed story in like 3 or 4 pages. And the last book that I read this month is the finale of Brisha trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. It's called Ruin and Rising. It was good. I'm still thinking if I'm going to rate it 4 or 5 stars. I'm going to let it set for a bit and then rate it. But I live for that plot twist, and I lived for those unexpected moments throughout this book, throughout the whole series. I can't wait to get reading Rose duology, because everyone says it's better, and I can't wait for this story to get even better. Well, not this story, but stories in this universe. Instagram have chosen this one, but I didn't manage to read it. So 30 reasons why, 30 reasons why, 30 reasons why will be the first on my list. I haven't read it. I watched the first season of the series. I want to read the book, and then I will probably watch the second season. I have really mixed feelings about this story, so I guess I will tell all about it when I finish the book. I wanted to challenge myself to read 7 books this month, and then probably going to fail, but on my TBR list for June, besides 13 Reasons Why, are going to be Moxie by Jennifer Matthew. I would also like to read Our Dark Duet by Victoria Schwab. I read this Savage Song and really liked it, and I wanted to finish the duology. What was that? The third one is going to be a reread. It's going to be Dancing with Myself, the autobiography of Billy Idol. The next one is also a reread. It's called The Midnight for Charlie Bone. I call this Charlie Bone series because there is Charlie Bone in every title, but I think it's called like Children of the Red King or something like that. It doesn't say here. Second to last one is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I can't wait to read it. I'm so excited. And I have an app, and I wanted to read as much books from that app as I can until the middle of July, because then I'm not going to have it anymore. Maybe I should pick more books from the app then, and not the physical copies, but we'll see how that's going to. This is going to be an interesting month when we think about the fact that I have exams. So we'll see. I hope that you liked this video. Tell me, please, in the comments below if you read any of the books that I mentioned, and what do you think about them. I would like to have a conversation with you in the comments. Until the next time, which will be very soon, and when I will try to look decent. Do widzenia!